from the start. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Action! Hello. Welcome to Chiripa Pierrot. You are watching the Day-to-Day Show with your host, Reynaud, and founder, by the way. I'm a little bit nervous today because this is my very first video where I get to talk about my brand and the extension of myself, which is Chiripa Pierrot. And what is it? What is Chiripa Pierrot? Essentially, it is a character-driven universe. Storytelling, illustration, and above all, play are paramount. Oh gosh, I've practiced this so many times. I feel like I'm on a time constraint, but that is just simply not true. I'd like to make use of everything. What I've come up with, a character-driven universe. I've always wanted to do that for a very long time. And here is where I start. Where I get my inspiration is very important to me. What we consume is very important in my belief in storytelling, and especially what's out there. For a very long period of my life, since I was younger, I was always creating something. I was always drawing something in the back of my book, maybe where I shouldn't be. But I think when you're younger, when you do these sorts of things, when we're growing up, or when children draw and they sketch or use different colors, I think it gives us a lot of creative freedom. Who's to tell you that you are wrong when you draw something on a piece of paper? Especially when we're young. Fortunate for me, I never really outgrew that. However, there was an extended period in my life where I wasn't creating anything at all. And this did bother me quite a bit. I felt as though I didn't have enough time to do it, and that it wasn't going to fulfill me. Maybe financially. The fact of the matter is, it was bothering me quite a bit. And I'm quite guilty of this thing that we do, where we watch others, or maybe we watch others criticize what's already out there. And I've been very guilty of that, consuming. I found that I was also really unsettled in terms of watching certain things. For me, personally, what I saw in my books, what I saw in the skills of my hand, was to me realizing what was at stake if I didn't create. In starting this show, I would like to say, this moving picture, is that I think I am taking a bad habit of maybe criticizing what's out there, what all this big budget stuff is, and really taking a look at myself and what it is that I desire. This format, which is globally used, I haven't been taking advantage of it, despite my background in performance even. But I think that there's this fear that I've been having where, don't know, I think it's a strange form of stage fright. But it's where my mind is and where I want it to go. So in saying that, finally, and I do get off topic quite a bit because I'm trying my hardest to be quite... Don't say that. Don't say that. It's so funny talking to this. But I want to be authentic in what I want to say, especially in front of the camera now that it's here, because usually I would just express what it is that is on my mind. I want to create, and Chiripa Pierrot is that extension of myself. It gives me a platform to create art, to create stories, and above all, I would very much like the honor to play. So, in saying that, I want to talk more about the storytelling aspect and what my goal is. When creating stories, I find it works best for me to get into a mindset where I can't say mindset two times together, can't I? No, I can. Who's to stop me? So, it lets my mind run free. I think I've got a knack for imagination. No, I have a knack for imagination. And I think I need to give myself a little bit more credit for that. As a designer, graphic designer, you tend to forget certain talents that you once had or reasons for starting something. No, not just as a designer, as a person. Excuse me. I think a lot of people can relate to that. So I encourage people to be more creative and to be less afraid of making mistakes, if you'd like to call them mistakes. What I intend to do with these characters is essentially move them along, display them through poetry of motion. And I've come up with a few ideas for that. Because I wanted something so simple. I adore simplicity. It's in my nature. I'm a simple dude. Well, action figures. Growing up, I loved G.I. Joe. That was until the Toys R Us next door shut down. It was very unfortunate. Whatever. So, there's this element of play that has always been lingering around my mind that not only allows me to articulate different characters and actors in my mind as I see fit. I wanted to not only have that control of said being able to draw a scene out however I want. That's where my love for animation comes in. And we could go on, we could talk for ages about that. And that is definitely another subject matter I would love to get into, but I can't right now. I will get distracted. Yeah, that is a blessing. Anywho, bring it back. Reel it back in, mate. Come on. All right. My love for animation. What inspires me? Animation. Classic animation. Vintage. New. Anything that really sparks my imagination. I'm not just inspired by animation. I am inspired by stories. When I was younger, hated reading. That's not true. I liked one book, and then school saw me liking reading and then gave me an extra unit in class which would make me read more, but it took up my outdoor time. That was weird. That's how you kill passion. That's a very weird memory. Why would you, since you love books so much, why don't you come do these extracurricular classes? PG is my goal. I will try. And prevail. So, I am bad at this. What is at stake if I don't create? Myself and what these hands can do, and most of all, my mind's eye. I choose to see the world in different ways. I don't choose. I mean, that's just how it is. That's how that came out of my mouth. I want to reintroduce endearing ideas to younger audiences, but also of old, any age really. That's the idea. I mean, that's the dream. I see bigger and higher budgeted things do that and successfully, but maybe this is a fool's errand, but it isn't. Because it's fun. And you'll see how much fun it is. This show allows me to somewhat relax a little bit in front of the camera let myself talk while in the background you could see me drawing a scene, creating a character, what's going on behind the scenes sort of thing, because I like transparency, but also I always have liked being able to communicate and talk to people. But then again, I should be able to use what I have now. There is no excuse to hide that away from the world, especially if it is to benefit people. Wow, very proud of myself. Very well said. There is going to be a guest character appearing. I did tell him what time to come. It was meant to be a surprise. But, yeah, I don't know whether... Nah, I don't know whether he's coming or not. Ow! What the... Ah, there he is. The little mischievous miscreant. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Reynaud. He's a Pierrot, an archetype character from the Comedy dell'arte, an Italian-French clown known for his melancholic moods, his love for playing music. He's also a hopeless romantic, aren't you? He's mute as well. Well, at least he pretends to be. He can actually talk. Well, Reynaud, would you like to tell the audience what we have in store for him? That's right. I've put together a short for you. Alright, Reynaud. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit you there, and what I want to do is I want to talk to the audience about a man back in 1892. A Frenchman named Charles-Émile Reynaud opened something called theatre optique, invented by Reynaud and performed in Paris. One of those films were called Pauvre Pierrot. Poor Pierrot, a simple story. Pierrot, Harlequin, and Columbine, a small triangle of love and jealousy. But it's believed to be one of the very first animated stories ever told to a paying audience. Reynaud ran the show himself and by hand every night. Incredible. 500 images painted, every single one by his own hand. The film originally was 15 minutes long, but today only 4 minutes of the animation survive. So what you're about to watch is an ode to that film. Same story, told through Chiripa Pierrot. Created by my hands, just like what Charles did. And I'll say this plainly, I highly recommend you go watch the original animated short by Reynaud himself. So, without further ado, we would like to present to you our ode, Poivre, 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 would like to present to you Pauvre Pierrot. Enjoy. I really botched these words. Poivre, poivre. Poivre, porpus, poire, por, por, poire, poire, poivre, 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 poivre. Chiripa.